agree to never be creative again.
Dick smiled and ran out of the trailer. "Come on, guys," he said to his parents, who followed out soon after him. They all ran into the tent where they preform and looked around for Sam. Dick called out for her a couple times till she replied, sounding scared. Dick! Zucko walked out of the shadows with his men, who, one of them, had his arm around Sam's neck, who was bloodied up and beaten badly. Dick and his parents gasped when they saw the men and Sam, his parents moving Dick behind him. Dick looked at Sam and noticed how much pain she was in and that she was crying. He had to make them let her go, he thought. "Let her go!" Dick yelled as two more of Zucko's men went and grabbed his parents from behind, leaving Dick standing there by himself. Zucko saw the scared look on Dick's face and walked over to him, pointing a gun to his forehead. Sam saw this and screamed, crying more. "No!" she screamed. Zucko looked at Sam and walked over to her, pointing the gun to her forehead. "What, would you rather die instead?" Zucko asked her as Batman jumped in through the roof. When Batman jumped in, her took down two of Zucko's men as the one holding on to Sam pushed her away from him and she fell onto the ground. Him and Zucko ran out and Batman ran after him. Dick's father John went over to Sam and started helping her up. Richard ran over to them and asked Sam if she was all right. Sam nodded. You could already hear the sirens of the ambulance and police driving down there. A few moments later, they strapped Sam to the gurney and put her into the ambulance, driving off to the hospital. Once they got to the hospital, they fixed Sam up, who ended up having 3 broken ribs, a broken right arm, and a concussion. As they were casting up Sam, John and Mary went and canceled the show. The next day, everyone was walking into the tent, getting ready to watch the show. In the back, Dick and his parents were getting dressed into their performing outfits, and then walked out onto the stage. Meanwhile, in their trailer, Sam was hurrying over to the tent to watch their show, so she quickly walked in through the back, and saw Zucko sitting in the bleachers, and saw Bruce Wayne sitting behind him. She knew something was up. Sam quickly ran over to the ladder and climbed up onto the platform Dick was standing on. Dick was just about to grab onto his parents' hands when Sam grabbed him and pulled him back, and they both watched his parents plummet to their deaths. The crowd gasped, and Dick fell to his knees, covering his face with his hands, crying. Sam noticed how sad he was and hugged him. "I'm sorry." Dick felt her hug him and pushed her away from him. "This is all your fault!" he said angrily and ran off. And after that night, Sam never saw him again. At least for a while. 2 years that later, Sam was walking around Central City when she saw a pissed-off boy walk out of a coffee shop. His name was Wally. Wally West, being the major flirt that he was, saw Sam and walked over to talk to her. "Hey, gorgeous." Sam rolled her eyes and smiled, continuing to walk down the sidewalk, having Wally follow her, which she thought was very creepy. She kept walking along the sidewalk with Wally following her. She thought it was so creepy that she had to make it stop. "Okay, why are you following me? She quickly stopped talking and started walking away fast. Wally's eyes widened and he ran after her, grabbing her shoulder and spinning her around. "How do you know my name?" he asked her, which she just froze, not knowing how to answer. She didn't open her mouth, because she knew if she did, "I know Flash," or "I know your uncle," would come out, and everything would go hectic. Sam just looked at him, turning around and saying she had to go, and then ran off. About an hour later, it was dark outside, and Sam, still being homeless, laid down on a bench in the park, trying not to fall asleep. She looked up at the stars, looking for constellations up in the sky. While looking for constellations, she started to fall asleep, until she heard the voice of a creeper. Sam jumped and fell off the bench. The only thing that Sam liked about this was that he woke her up. Wally saw Sam fall off the bench and went to help her up, apologizing as he helped her. When Sam stood up, she punched Wally in the arm. "Why are you following me?" Wally rubbed his arm and said he just wanted to know how she knew his name. Then she remembered she shapeshifted into a different girl when she entered Central City, so she could say anything then leave. So she answered with, "I know your Uncle Barry." After she said that, they both sat down and started talking. Wally making Sam laugh. She was having a great time. She realized Wally wasn't that bad after all. "When do you gotta be back at home?" she asked. Wally answered with 11 p.m., because his Uncle Barry gave him the curfew, which he didn't like at all. Wally stood up, saying he had to go because it was almost 11, but before he walked off, they made plans to hang out the next day. He walked off, leaving Sam all alone. Once Wally left, Sam got up and started walking around, when Barry, or the Flash, ran in front of her. "I don't know who you are, but stay away from my nephew," he said to her, looking at her suspiciously. Sam looked at him shocked. "But Barry," she said, and then accidentally shapeshifted back into herself. His eyes widened, and Sam noticed this, then ran off, thinking she'll never come back here. Leaving Wally stood up. Of course, Wally thought he should have known. 3 years later, when Sam was 13, she was in the park in her hero costume when she heard some explosions, and since she is a hero, she had to go see what was going on. She ran over to where she heard the explosions and saw Boy Wonder being attacked. Of course, though, she knew that Dick/Richard was Robin. She helped him out, them both defeating the people who were trying to kill him. What Sam didn't realize is that her mask was blown off, and when Robin turned to look at her, his eye widened under his mask. "Sam?" he asked, so surprised. "Since when are you Girl Wonder and have powers?" Sam looked at him and said since she was half a year old, and said she could not believe that he thought it was her fault his parents were killed. Being the guy he was, he kinda got mad and asked her a little angry, "Why didn't you tell me you were Girl Wonder?" Sam looked at him. "Why didn't you tell me you were Boy Wonder? Why didn't you come looking for me when I went missing? I have a hard time believing those 3 words you kept telling me were true," she said angrily back. "It was your fault!" he yelled back. You could already hear sirens on their way there. Batman and the rest of Robin's team got there and didn't know who he was talking to. Sam looked at Robin with a sad expression on her face, a tear escaping her eye, and whispered, "It was not my fault." She looked down and ran off. Robin's eye widened. He never wanted to make her sad like that. The next day, Batman, Flash, Green Arrow, Superman, and Aquaman were talking to Robin's team about what happened last night when Roy walked into the mountain. He went straight and turned on the news. The news reporter came on to the TV. "Everyone, and I mean everyone, is happy to hear our own Girl Wonder is back." The whole league heard this and went to the mountain, watching this newscast. "She's even here with us," the news reporter said, and the camera zoomed out to show Sam in her costume and the new reporter. "How does it feel to be back? Are you glad to be back? Why'd you come back?" the news reporter asked Sam. The questions were very whelming for her, so she thought about it for a minute. "I actually never left. I hid from the people I cared most about so they wouldn't be put in danger, but I decided to come out of hiding. It's time for me to show my face again." Roy then turned off the TV and looked at Batman and them. She's not going to be leaving for a while. He walked out of the room. After hearing the news, Batman and the other mentors had smiles on their faces. They were very happy about Sam being back. Dick was too, but he wouldn't admit it. Batman looked over at the other mentors, and everyone got into the bioship and flew off in camouflage mode. They drove around the city looking for Sam when they found her on a stage with 3 other people. One was by the drums, and the other 2 were holding guitars. Sam was by the microphone. Of course, Sam liked to sing, so she started.
I'm so pathetic. Don't know what to do. Stan got me. Crowded in the room. Picture moment. And now I'm screwed. I don't tell me I'm beautiful because I don't want to hear it from you.
When she started singing, Wally looked around. Where's Robin?" Everyone looked around and shrugged, then continued to listen to Sam sing.
I kidded you, my best friend's boyfriend! Best friend's boyfriend! What you thinking, you're my best friend's boyfriend! Best friend's boyfriend! Don't try to tell me it's okay. Don't try to make me play your game. Boy, you're tripping, you're my best friend's boyfriend. Best friend's boyfriend.
Megan watched, then gasped a little. There's Robin! She pointed to him, who was standing right beside the steps to the stage. He started walking up them.
Hey, mental! I don't know what to say. Now you got me in the way. I'm gonna tell her I got nothing to hide. I really hope she figures it out. I hope she won't take her side.
Robin walked up to Sam, and Sam looked at him and smiled, still singing.
Are you kidding? You're my best friend's boyfriend. Imagine thinking you're my best friend's boyfriend. Best friend's boyfriend. Don't try to tell me it's okay. Don't try to make me play your game. Boy, you're tripping. You're my best friend's boyfriend. Best friend's boyfriend.
Sam looked at the drummist, who then played the rest of the song on his laptop.
Put me in a situation. Put me in a situation. I never was in a part of this equation, but you put me in a situation. She ought to know. She can do better. So you ought to go. So never. Sometimes this happens to you. Every know that this is not what I do. Hope she knows that she is way too good. I hope she breaks her heart. Boy, I know she should. Get her best friend's boyfriend.
Sam walked up to Robin and asked him why he was there. He replied, I just couldn't stay away from you. I know my parents' death wasn't your fault. I was just caught off guard when you came here. Sam smiled and put her hands on the back of his neck, pulling him into a long kiss when the chorus came on.
Hey kid, you're my best friend's boyfriend! Best friend, boyfriend! What you thinking, you're my best friend's boyfriend! Best friend, boyfriend! Don't try to tell me it's okay! Don't try to make me play your game! Boy, you tripping, you're my best friend's boyfriend! Best friend's boyfriend!
Robin put his hands around her waist, pulling her closer to him. That same night, she went back to Mount Justice with Robin. She walked in, and everyone made a welcome back party for her. Everyone welcomed her back. She was happy to be back, and even happier to be back with Dick. Sam and everyone had so much to drink, which made it an even better party for her. By about 4 in the morning, everyone but Sam had fell asleep somewhere on the floor. Sam saw it and laughed, jumping onto the couch, turning on the TV as morning came. The end.